in security literature, attacks are studied heavily. And specifically, we say then attacks are the root cause that we are studying the security domain or the kind of key concepts. But the point is that there are a number of attacks and there are different varieties of them. So when you are focusing on a specific particular attack, then you need to understand the kind of key aspects. Additionally, the kind of key information that is related to that particular attack. Same is true with backdoor attack also. So as the name itself is saying, that backdoor means somebody is trying to enter your home, your house, or your safe house. Means it might be in the form of some information system or like that from a backdoor. So that's why it's a backdoor attack. And usually the backdoor is opened without your information. Then only it is supposed to be considered as successful backdoor entry. So otherwise the person could have come from the front door also. So that's why in this attack also, the backdoor attack focuses on to access a particular information system by having or by bypassing some sort of security mechanism that is encompassed by the information system to just hold the kind of specific security needs from the kind of adversaries out there. So when you are having a backdoor attack, it means the attacker has successfully entered your system if it is successful. So a successful backdoor attack includes the breaching of security parameter that you have developed around you, and he has successfully entered your information system from an unknown point of view, which is not in your information, and that's why it is backdoor. So that's the basic thing. Now the point is that when we talk about the backdoor system, then there are a number of things which are involved in this particular thing. So you may install some sort of malware or the sort of malicious software or the piece of information that is required to gain you the backdoor entry into a particular information system. And then you are supposed to, means the adversary is supposed to put some sort of, you can say, the poison into your database, or just to try to malice the kind of information that your system is having. Then it is considered a kind of successful attack, because just getting into a particular system is not an attack, because then you are doing a kind of wedge dropping. Means you are just lending your ear and you are just having the kind of information that the system is processing or the sort of doing. But when you are actually putting an attack into practice, then you don't only need to get into a system, you need to do something malicious also to impact the health of the overall system. So then it is called a successful attack. Now the point is that there are so many studies involving the backdoor in security domain, especially in cybersecurity. We do talk about it a lot, because ultimately the cyber domain is the kind of digital domain where these sort of digital practices are coming into reality. Then the related trojans, etc., and the viruses are discussed with respect to the backdoor entry also, because again, the kind of piece of software, as I told you, that you need to put into the information system. Which kind of piece of software you are putting into the system just to malice the health of the overall system? That's the specific issue of debate. So if you are going for a trojan or the virus, etc., then it's a different thing. But usually trojan means they look different, but there is something different. And sort of thing, there is the different sorts of other sort of attacks. So that's a quite different thing. Means we should not relate these two. But coming on to this particular focus, and when we are on to this particular domain, so just close it and we jump on to this particular library, because in most of our videos now what we have done, we have started to have some sort of library or the key practical repositories related discussion, so that the people who are interested in the actual hands-on with respect to any of the information domain, they could then it. So in this particular practice, we are landing on this particular GitHub repository, which is Backdoor box. And this particular box is an open access Python toolbox for the backdoor attacks and the defenses. So the name itself is conveying the message that these are the sort of specific tool, you can say, and which are helpful just to have a basic hands-on. So they have given some basic information on the backdoor attacks, and then what is the need of backdoor box, and its specific features, like it is open source and it is aiming to provide the specific advanced backdoor attacks and the defensive tools in it. So that's the key aspect of this particular article. Now coming on to the specific characteristics, so they are saying that the toolbox is having a kind of consistency with respect to the kind of implementation and methodology point of view. Then the simplicity means it's quite easy to use. You can go and have the sort of settings. Additionally, it also has the feature of default settings. So if you're interested, you can go for that. Coming on to the kind of flexibility, so you can have your own specific outputs and the components settings. If you are interested, you can have some basic existing local samples and the model structures also for the defense attacks as well as the defenses. Finally, coming on to the code development, if you are interested, you can join them and you can try or facilitate the kind of collaboration that you are having at your side for them. So that's the basic thing. And now coming on to the actual thing. So the backdoor attacks, what they have discussed over here. So the methods they have included the bed nets, blended, refuel, label consistent to a then the sleeper agent, ISIS, BA, etc., etc. A lot more different methods they have covered. Now coming on to the specific sources, so they have given the sources of these all specific methods with their respective research papers and the kind of key properties and the additional notes they have also discussed. So I think quite crisp information they have given over the backdoor attacks. And if you're interested, then you can just jump onto the specific research paper and try to find the related more information. So that's good enough for you. Coming on to the specific defenses. So again, the different methods and as well as the sources they have discussed with respect to the related research paper information also. And the defense types and the additional notes are also provided. Now, the different methods means, as we have already discussed it, that it is a kind of collaborative work. So consistently, the list they are trying to enhance. So there are some methods which are still under development. So the DBD, and then SS neural planes, DP, and the cut mix. So these are some of the related methods which are under development. And the attacks and defense related benchmarks is also supposed to be provided soon. So you are supposed to stay tuned just to get the related information. Here is the list of contributors from the Singapore University, then the Tencent Security Jack Research Lab, and then the Shanghai Tech University. So if you're interested, you can collaborate with these people just by contacting with them. So just contact with them, you can have some sort of related idea with respect to collaboration. And out of ethical responsibility, it is our duty to cite the kind of related work if you are taking some part of this particular repository or you are taking help of it. So that's all from this particular repository. Moving on, we have another interesting repository, which is Backdoor. And this particular Backdoor is discussing the neural planes, which is trying to identify and mitigating the backdoor attacks in neural networks. So here they have discussed the specific dependencies and what you are supposed to have in your system before trying to work on to this particular library, then how you are supposed to do it, and the specific key concepts of reverse processing which they have used with respect to the GPU devices, as well as the modeling configuration and the metadata information, everything is provided down here. Now coming on to the specific key commands, they have given the kind of key commands just to execute the sample code. So this sort of libraries remain quite useful where you have very simple commands just to simply run the project. So hopefully you must have liked this, and then we move on to the another key library. And this particular library is provided at this particular repository. So the hidden triggers backdoor attacks they have discussed over here. With the specific basic information on the deep learning and the kind of attacks, they are proposing a sort of specific backdoor attacks where the poisoned data look natural with the correct labels, and specifically the attackers hide the trigger in the poisoned data. So that is the sole motive. So you can see that how specifically it is going to work like this. Then the prerequisites or the sort of data creation information, the configuration files, the Poison generation, then the fine tuning of the specific repository and the testing related information, then the data shell scripts and all sort of related additional details they have discussed over here. Finally, they have given the citation information, which is quite important to cite the work. So that's all from my side. Hopefully you must have liked the video. Just to keep the video short, I am closing it soon because it's always important to keep the video short, just not to make bore out of you. So I'm just suggesting you to jump onto the specific key aspects from a research point of view. You are supposed to jump onto different websites and just look onto the key aspects with respect to different libraries as well as the repositories and make a conclusive statement. Don't only rely on this particular video. There are a lot more information that you need to do, or the kickstart your work. So that's all. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.